And then there was 3. I don't know what it is about Showtime, but sometimes that Showtime lights and camera freeze people up and they just can't make the cut. Well, looks like Xavier will be pulling another sick day tonight. Show goes on. Listen, this is the Horace Times. I'm going to serve as your host tonight while I handle some technical difficulties by Xavier, who seems to be in Madagascar trying to come in remotely tonight. First off, I'm going to introduce you to the man that is the date doctor, the man who's full of love. He even has it on his chest tonight. And that is nothing but pure optimism and good vibes to put into the universe. Tonight, you will know him as Chris Leo.
Yes, thank you for that beautiful, wonderful introduction, my brother. Always a pleasure. Yes, I wore this tonight for the ladies, man. I wanted to give you guys this is the pre-Valentine's Day show. So I wanted to set the mood. You know, we always want to show love to the ladies on this show. So thank you for coming. About flowers.
All right, my main man. Listen, I want to tell y'all something on a serious note, man, and I really want y'all to support me on this. I can't tell you what it is, but next Monday, which is the 13th, I got to turn myself in. So, yeah, I got to turn myself in to face some charges. So, wishing y'all the best. But I will be out by the 15th.
Love it.
Yeah, man. So, turn myself in Monday afternoon. I'll get out on the 15th by 8 a.m., after court and whatnot. So, it is what it is. Anybody checking on me, that's where I'll be at. All right, next, I'm going to the man who's going to have an interesting week, man. 49ers at home. I'm at home totally because Tom Brady done really just left me on the couch. So we done.
His drawers on.
Might not know till June for sure. But the man who is Dallas Cowboys icon on this side of the Mississippi, you will know him tonight as Super Mario Sr. Uh-oh.
Can't hear you.
Oh, man.
Hello. Yep, we are live. Hello. Yeah, we home, man. It's a whole bunch of this a big couch right now, man. It's a 3-seater, 4-seater, but one person went to the refrigerator to get some beer. So we're gonna be all enjoying the Super Bowl. Then some kind of way I wish both of them could lose and they could end in the first tie of the Super Bowl like a soccer game.
Well, we got one of our friends, Norman Wright. He got caught for being a peeping Tom. Norman, I would thank you for your infantile jokes about Tom Brady, who's the legendary quarterback and one of my best friends. You have no team, sir. So I would like you to sit back, watch the show, donate, and shut the hell up. All right, moving on tonight. I don't know where I want to start at, man. Let me ask y'all a question. The man got love on his chest, and it ain't the other rose. What would be the most romantic idea for Valentine's Day you were planning if you participated?
Well, for one, I'm not really romantic, and I don't really participate. But I can tell you this: I can try to piece my story of how I would propose to my wife. Well, and I hope if I do have a future wife out there listening, I hope she's not watching this. So check it out. This is what I do, right? All right. About a month before Valentine's Day, I would go and get reservations for this really, really nice restaurant. I talk to the manager. I tell the manager that when I come in here on Valentine's Day, I want everybody to be wearing pins. Like some pins say, congratulations. Other pins say yes. Other pins say he's going to ask you to marry him. All these different pins. So I take my lady to the restaurant. At the hostess got a pin saying he's going to ask you to marry him. So we sit down. The waitress got a pin saying say yes, girl, and she's starting to get inquisitive and wonder what's going on with everybody with the pins, right? So that time I will signal for the manager to come over and I asked him, "Hey man, what's going on with all the pins?" So the manager say, "Oh man, one of my buddies is gonna come in here and he's proposing to his wife tonight, his future wife tonight, and we all in on it." So now in her mind, she's starting to get jealous and like, "Oh, that's nice that a man would do that." So now she's started to think like, why I ain't thinking some stuff like that. So we go on with the meal, and of course, marriage get brought up, getting married and everything. And I started to deflect and say, "Man, I'm really not ready for that." So obviously it's gonna start kind of like an argument. She's gonna get a little fussy about it, and then gonna end the meal. So, but when the check come, I'm gonna tell her, "Hey man, I left my wallet in the car. I ain't got no money on me. I'll pay you when we get back to the car." I know that's gonna get her mad. Slide the check. She open up a check on the check and say, "Will you marry me?" That's about the best I can do.
Man, that is boss. Well, Chris, I want to tell you, I had an idea of how I wanted to propose, and I totally didn't do any of that. Maybe I allowed my trauma to get the best of me. Afraid of being rejected. You know, you shouldn't think that way, but if you grew up having the same dream, like either being left at the altar or somebody saying no, knowing you're going to turn up. Bitch, no, what you mean? I think that's amazing. I'm going to say this. So with my situation, romantic, I don't think I'm a romantic person at all. Do I provide an environment to feel safe? Do I provide intimacy? I think I'm a romantic guy in that sense. But being romantic, where I'm about to do all the limo rides and horse carriages and all that, probably not. But for one night, especially if the engagement's on the board, if she just happens to work, I'm gonna have a friend in. I'm gonna have where I pick her up from work at 5 with a bag that's packed, right? And I'm gonna actually have this spot that I know that has a rooftop, and I'm gonna have a chef, probably I call Boris, and tell Boris I want to have a rooftop dining experience at sunset, not at night, at sunset. That way we get both environments. And at that time, after we eat, and I know she's feeling good, I'm gonna look off into the distance and tell her, the heights that we are at now, this is how I feel when I'm with you. And then take a ride down the waterway on my homeboy yacht. And that's an environment, you know, sitting on a blanket, drinking some wine. So after I take her to heaven, when I give her the best rounds of my life, at some point during the night, I'm going to slip the engagement ring on her finger. So when she gets up in the morning, she's going to be brushing her teeth, and at some point, she's going to see the engagement ring on her hand and realize that I made a decision to give her everything I have in this life. So, you know, whether it's Valentine's Day, I think that's pretty dope.
I give you that one. How like did you get nasty doing the thing?
Yeah.
Or was you being sweet and kind then too?
All right, listen. Yes, the best of it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I might even listen. Honey packs. So maybe I'll go honey packs. Listen, the best is you got to really knock out sleep to put it on the hand, on the finger. So, yeah. So, yeah. Super Mario Senior.
It's crazy you asked this because me and Chris just had this conversation earlier this week about romance and about just being like doing special things for women, right? And I said this is one of the things that, contrary to people believe, because I think I am a romantic person, but I used it the wrong way. Like most of my life, I understood that most dudes didn't take time to want to be romantic. They thought it was stupid, or they thought it was like green or lame. But I understood that no matter what age, a woman would just want to feel special. So as the younger me, I vowed to understand what women like, listen to women. They tell me what they want, and then try to get a parameter of like, this is what most women like and what make them happy. And one thing is consistent, no matter what and how you do it, because both of y'all picked up on it, is being spontaneous and the element of surprise with a thought. So if you ask me what I want, what would I do? I think romantic is listening to your partner and fulfilling some kind of fantasy or want they want, right? That's what makes romance. No matter what you say, it's the spontaneousness or the surprise of somebody thought this much to me to do it. So to write down something, what it would be, it'll have to be off of my partner. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that both of y'all said marriage when we asked about Valentine's Day. I'm a little excited. I'm happy to see that that's where y'all mind at because we definitely asked about Valentine's Day. So yeah, and it's crazy because my marriage was sort of like that too. Like, you know, and I think that that's what made it so spontaneous because when I asked her to propose to me, she never seen it coming, and she never seen it coming because when I first met her, I laid the groundwork. So I always promised her that I never ever would do two things: get married. I would never propose to a woman on Christmas, their birthday, or any holiday because then if she break it off after she received my ring, I don't have to give it back because it could be looked at as a gift in the court of law. The second thing I said I'd never do is do it in front of a whole bunch of people because she knows I don't really like crowds like that. And I don't like a lot of phony people being around me like, you know, you're so happy. So when I did propose, it was at her birthday party. We rented a mansion for her to have a pool party for her birthday party. All her friends and family had flew in, and a bunch of mine had came in. So she'd never seen this coming. I went to Banners RS and got a banner, and had a DJ play the song, my cousin's song, Kim. And then had my homeboys, it had started raining, and then I knew it was gonna rain because I looked at the weather. So when it rained, everybody's gonna have to go inside, but it was scattered showers. So I said, as soon as it rained, everybody come from the outside again, just play this song. And then when you come around the corner, you're gonna see this big old banner that say, "Will you marry me?" And then I'm gonna be on my knees. And then she just never gonna, and she didn't. And it was romantic, but the only romantic thing was about it is that I think is that she never seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? So I think romance is just keeping somebody on their toes, to not to go on and on. And both of y'all had amazing ideas because the men who you are, to take time and be thoughtful and to do that is what's gonna make it romantic. So good job, fellas. Good job.
Well, we missing one, but you know, like I say, he over in another country, so we'll have
Yeah,
to
he
wait.
told me. I think he told me it was something about bean pies and Jamaican pies and aki. It got real nasty, so I let him tell it whenever he come back home.
He told me something about he was gonna goddamn kill his favorite goat
Never move.
and gave him a ring and still a gift.
Right. That's the whole point. That's why I wasn't married. That's why she never thought I'd do it, but I wasn't worried. It's forever. So she know I was dead serious because she know for me to say it on her birthday, it was like, what? You don't even believe in this.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna run down something on y'all real quick. And I know y'all probably, I just thought about it, so I'm gonna give y'all time to do it. I thought it was more fun than anything, and maybe you won't have the answer till next week. You don't have 5 songs. You're gonna be stranded on the island. Maybe they take away music. You only have 5 songs you can listen to for the rest of your life. What are they? And I'm gonna start it up because y'all probably didn't even do it. All right. First song, there's only 5 of them. First song gonna be Chris Brown, "This Christmas." Any version of it. Some reason that song triggers me because my childhood reminds me of my grandma and my family. Something about Christmas back in the old days. But I hear that song, I still cry to this day. So it actually it takes me back to my childhood, you know, and it's kind of like a way that makes me feel like I'm still there in that moment. I miss her and whatnot. Second one is a gospel song called William Benton, "Still in Love with You." And something about that song, I think the song has an anointing on it that when I'm in a space, it always gets me focused and makes me, you know, meditate or kind of focus. But sometimes it just gives me the spirit of gratitude to, you know, thank God for where I'm at, for his grace, being able to endure and everything else. Number 3, it's a wedding song by Johnny Gill. It was in one of Tyler Perry movies called "Me for You." I thought that wedding song was so amazing. It's just something about uh, that moment. You can feel that song. My fourth one is going to be a song Duffel Bad Boys when Chris was part of Triple C's. Just seeing my boy on screen and feeling like to see my partner get to a point in his life, which was a goal, and something motivating about seeing Chris in his element that made me like, man, that's it. You know what I mean? And for some reason, the fifth song probably is gonna be "Treated Like a Lady." I love that song to death. It's the Temptation song. So yeah, man, 5 songs. I know y'all ain't do your homework, but I gave the logic behind all of them. All right, Zay, y'all got
My
something?
brothers.
Oh,
Hey.
we got
You in the Congo?
Yeah, I'm back. Man, listen, I'm back.
You in the Congo?
No, I made it back.
Okay. Hey, who's
Yo.
that? Chris, you should be up. What's up, Chris?
Yep.
5 songs. Run.
Oh man! First of all, I want to thank you for that shout out. I like to think I had the best verse on the song. Go back.
You
Double,
sleep.
I think you did.
double bag, boys, Cash feature with
Third.
Triple C. I think I got the best verse on the song, so I appreciate that shout out. But for 5 songs for the rest of my life, I would have to start off with something that would be my ringtone, would be my alarm clock, would be my just the theme of my whole rest of my life is Rick Ross. Every day I'm hustling. I know now that that's how I have to live my life. Every day I gotta try to get better. I try to create more wealth, get more in tune with spiritually or anything, mind wise, everything. So first off, it would be every day I'm hustling. 2, if I was to ever get myself in a relationship, the song I would choose was Teddy Pendergrass, My Latest Greatest Inspiration. That's whatever that man was going through that made him write that song, or if it was written for whoever wrote that song. Just for a woman to inspire you in that way, for you to think that that's your greatest inspiration. I think that's one of the best love songs ever made in my life. Now if you get some inspiration, you're probably gonna need like some motivation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some motivation. So just in case you do leave you, and just in case things break up, I want to go with Usher. You ain't got to call. It's okay. So we keep it pushing. I would never like to live the rest of my life without keeping my mama in mind. So I got to throw Pop, Dear Mama in there, so I can always remember Viola. And last, I want every day to be a good day. Whatever happens in my day, it works out in my favor. So I got to go with Ice Cube. Today was a good day. That's my 5.
Super Mario, I want you to know on iTunes, on my phone, I do have the Days of Crunk still saved on my iDrive. I really do.
I'm sure.
Let's see. I think first I'm gonna go with probably gonna exercise for the rest of my life, so I'm always listen to this song. Yeah, almost every time I go to the gym. That Meek Mills. Hold up, wait a minute. That right there. I just believe that's the beginning to like. I don't think it's a song yet still begin better than that. Like that's just the, you know what I'm saying? That's just the amazing.
I don't know.
Crescendo, you know what I'm saying? Of like still to this day, you know what I'm saying? My boy Uzi is trying to comfort my boy Crown, but I ain't trying to let it happen. So that's one. Marvin Sapp, My Testimony. I think if you ever want to hear a song of perseverance and about getting to the other side, that just do something to me, because you know he talk about how unworthy he is of the stuff he obtained in life and through God. So that's always a good one for me. And Drake, In Time. I love that song. Like that, I'm a music like guy, like listen to music guy, like you know what I'm saying. I don't need no words, and that song right there, it don't matter. It don't need no words. The actual music notes of that song are just like ridiculous. I used to ride through the city of Atlanta when I ain't have much and listen to that song and look up at the city and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. So that just like Horace kind of alluded to, that take me back to a time when I was like reminiscing or like trying to like envision the life I'm kind of living now. You know what I'm saying? Still ain't got it all, but you know, headed there. My grandma, I grew up kind of in the church too a lot, so I used to always hear this song, and then I didn't understand it, but I used to see they sung this song no matter what. If it was a good day, a bad day, or whatever. It was always no matter what revival we went to, it was somebody always stand up and say this song, I Won't Complain by Paul Morton. And every week for like probably like the last 5 years for sure, I'm gonna listen to that song at least one time. Because at the end of the day, it's so much stuff we can go through, but it's the point in my life that I just won't complain. Like I'm gonna keep pushing, and I just won't complain. And the last song is it's gonna sound crazy. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now, but
Mr. Big.
It's one of my it's one of my Tila.
Oh yeah.
Show enough. Yeah, listen.
That's a beautiful song.
When that song, when you listen to that song right now, it just take you to a place of like assertiveness, control, like macho, like man, like I got this. Like it is not even it. Just the word is just the way he just emphasizing his words and what he's spitting is just like I got this situation. Like at any point in time, whatever happens, I got control. And every time I listen to that song, I just feel that, you know what I'm saying? I used to listen to that before I walked in the club. Like, bitch, I'm you feel me? So I think that's a good 5 for me to start without the spell, because Tootie's right, I did not do my homework on that. So when I'm thinking 3 of them songs are just a mandatory no matter how I do it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you.
Hey, for the say, do know.
Worthy.
Hey, do know. Hey, you say Meek Mill hard, but that boom, 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 boom. Take that shit to try.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was thinking about that Trick Daddy, boy. Listen, anybody want to die? Listen, that's the best intro ever. But
I rode around in that Impala with them 412. Boom, 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 boom. On repeat. Zabo.
Well, I like all y'all answers. I did some homework, but I didn't come up with no background story like y'all did. I just thought about, the songs that mean the most to me, and I can't go without hearing them. So I started off and I thought about Sade, because like you said, you think about it, you rolled with Big Mark when we were kids. He's going to introduce you to some music, and Sade was one of the artists that he introduced me to that I feel like I'm a chill guy. So when you hear Sade, you go ahead and relax. So I dug into my roots. I thought about, all of the one drops that I heard, and you cannot live your life without Mr. Beres Hammond. And he said, they gonna talk. And I love that song because they gonna talk about us. It don't matter. No matter what the people say. When they see us together, it don't even matter. It bears. So as I continue to think, what else would Zay like to listen to? Mr. Ronald Isley, Atlantis. Because again, I just be chilling. How can you go without hearing Atlantis? On a Sunday, you got a vert, top back, and Atlantis. You just chilling. So I go from there and I say, all right, Zay, where else can you go? International Players Club. It's the best compilation ever. All of my favorite artists, rap artists that is, come together for a harmonious melody that is timeless and is a classic. How can you go without that? And then, I don't know, Mario, me and you, I said Drake, but I was thinking Passion Fruit, but then Future and Tim's lives rent-free in my head. I kept listening. That is the smoothest. That's me. So all of those smooth jams, when I thought of them, I said, yeah, if I can listen to one of those songs every day, I'm going to be all right. And those are the 5 that I came up with. There's a whole bunch more that I've probably listened to, but those are the ones that stuck out to me.
So Candid Looker got knocked out the top 5?
It got knocked out.
Damn.
I graduated.
That's a good list, though.
Probably one of my 5 Future songs. So fitting.
Listen, man.
All 5.
I'm telling you.
My boy said all 5 Future songs. Hey, listen, we got guests tonight. Tonight we brought in some estrogen to the scene. So, we have some familiar guests. and they have some interesting conversation for the night. I don't have a bios tonight, but you are familiar with them in Black Super Friends Nation history or whatever. Listen, first I'm gonna come on to the screen. Dr. April Givens.
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Dr. April?
We Rick Ross in it.
Okay.
And next, my favorite thirst trapper, Dr. Tamika Manning.
Really?
You
Really?
The
Horace Towns, really? Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Listen, smart, but you're very disciplined in that gym, and you are a very decorated actress. You gotta give you your flowers and movies and everything. Yeah. How's the movie business treating you now that you Hollywood?
You know, I was just saying I'm so ready for it to come out because so many people have been hitting me up saying how long, but they said it's a process. So once you have the premiere, I guess it goes to a process before it goes out to streaming. But shameless plug, it'll be out on Peacock, Amazon Prime, and all those probably in the next couple of months. So I'll have to update you guys and let you know when it comes out.
All right. I'm excited to see it. I don't know if I want to go to this topic because we got the doctors tonight. Dr. April Givens and Dr. Tamika Manning did bring a question tonight, so it'll be interesting. But I want to go to this because I'm just going to let Chris out the leash tonight a little bit. So a female viewer shared a video that claims, and I'm just going to do the video first because you have to, forgive the guy for his Michael Jackson voice, but please listen to the little video clip. It's 30 seconds. Well, I guess it ain't. All right. Well, that technical difficulty didn't work tonight. Well, the man in the video claims that men aren't obsessed with women anymore. And even though I hate those videos, it's because maybe I'm triggered because it's a guy talking almost as if he's not a guy like the rest of us. And he was talking about men aren't obsessed with women anymore. Men are into themselves, and they act like they don't even like women. And I always say that's the blueprint for a video to trend nowadays. And then I looked at the comments. Oh, the comments was, yes. Oh, my God. Yes, these men, blah, blah, blah. I get on the comment. I say, hey, bro, you're going to go viral because this is how you do it. And I say, make a video about men being failures and men being an excuse why certain people single is always the secret to success. And me and him just went back and forth, but it was the women that jumped on me like a pack of wild dogs. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I'm gonna go to the latest man first, believe it or not.
I hate it. Oh man, I don't know if it's pandering or if he's right. Perception is reality. That's the way he sees it, and that's the way he brought it to the forefront. So I think you did the right thing in not arguing with him about his opinion and how he feels or how he sees things portrayed. He's listening to what the women said. Mario just said, you got to listen to women. If that's what they're saying, is obviously what they're running into, right? Now, do I agree? That's a different conversation.
Let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. I think that men do go after women. They get them a lot of times. I just think that some women probably don't get what they want from the man that they're looking for, maybe. And they spin the narrative. But hey, who am I? I'm all right. It's them that's complaining. What do you feel?
Say it with your chest, babe.
No, I speak with my mouth. Ass white.
Okay.
Yeah, a little trigger, eh? Super Mario.
I seen what he was trying to say. So I think to some degree he is right though. I think that because it's a clickbait saying men don't don't like women no more and all that. That was the clickbait. But that's a lot of times I don't fall for that. I look for, because like Horace said, that's why they put that up there first to grab everybody's attention. But if you actually listen to what he's saying, I think it's just it's not having the same want or need for a woman's attention. And he said anymore. So I'm gonna just focus on that anymore. So like the anymore part is the truthful part. Because I believe that right now, I remember my granddaddy listening to songs like with guys who was out in the rain begging women to take them back. Get dudes who got hot grits pulled on them and they still wanted the same woman. Dudes who walked 10,000 miles and I give you the ocean, the sea. And if that ain't enough, anything left in me to get a woman. So if you're asking me to believe that the guys of this generation is the same, I'm gonna have to say no contraire. I don't think so. Now, if you ask me, do I think they should still be the same? I would say no to that too. So I think that, when you listen to that thing, he had some points. I think it was just that it wasn't put in all the way context. And it's just one part of it. I think men, not to go on, are not the same, and we don't love women the same anymore to that degree. Now, is that a right or wrong thing? I think that's because women aren't the same anymore either. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, that can go back and forth, But yeah, I agree with him to some sort.
All right, I'm gonna ask the two ladies for their opinions before I give the date doctor his analytical take. Doctor, why do y'all like? I'm just gonna assume. Why do y'all like that video, Dr. Givens?
I've never seen the video, but I mean, I think it could be clickbait as well. I don't necessarily say that I probably would agree that men are more, whatever he said, but I think it's more or less self-love. I think more people, men and women, are turning towards self-love. I think going within and working on them first before they decide to pursue a relationship, because I think that's what's the key, you being whole and being okay, because if that's not the case, somebody's going to run, and then somebody's going to chase, and then somebody's going to run, and then you still have a heartbreak situation because nobody's, trying to come together.
I like that. Dr. Manning.
I don't like generalizations because, you're putting, this one size fits all into, you just can't put people into a bucket. I do say that men are more into themselves, but I also say, look at the market. They don't have to really be obsessed with anyone because it's easier for a man to turn around and go right on next door and get another female. So I think with the ratio of men to women, I think that's where my perception of that is we don't have to be obsessed with one woman anymore. So you don't act right, you don't do what I tell you to do, you don't follow my program, then hey, I'm gonna hop on over here and grab, Susie, because I can. I can have 3 women if I want to. I can have 5. I don't have to obsess over any female anymore because there are way too many females out here that are accessible and also that cater to men on whatever level. So I think that's where my perspective comes in terms of that. No man has to be really obsessed with a woman anymore because there are way too many women out here.
Date doctor.
I see it totally different than that. What I would say is this: I think that for men to be obsessed with women, women got to give something for them to be obsessed about. Like, what is it to be obsessed about? There was a time where women got dressed up and put on the little short dress and the tight clothes to get male attention. But you ask women now that they do that for themselves. They're not doing that for you. They don't put the makeup on for themselves. For you, they put the makeup on for themselves. They put the tight dress on for themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So you can't. It's hard to get obsessed for something that even meant for me. There was once a time where women got dressed just like that and went to the club to get attention and adoration from men. You ask women nowadays, they're in the club to dance, drink with their friends, and listen to music. It has nothing to do with us. So you can't get obsessed with something that has nothing to do with us. We used to get obsessed about the female anatomy, about them seeing them naked and seeing them in, scandalous clothes. Well, we get an abundance of that now. We got to obsess about it because it's right here in our hand. And it used to be where it was the bourgeoisie girls, it used to be the Jezebels, used to be the loose women. But Now it's the bougie women that they're even like doctors, even like even doctor women. No one is far away from the look back at it, thirst trap and ass shot. One ladies.
Oh,
Damn,
Even doctors do it.
that was
But
crazy.
let me guess. This ain't for us, is it?
if you got it, flaunt it. I don't
It ain't
think
for
you
us.
got
So
it, flaunt
let
it.
me get it out of my phone because I don't want
It's
to.
for whoever want to enjoy it. How about
I
that?
don't want to obsess about something that ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got to really think about it. Like women don't do nothing specifically for us. We just had the Grammys yesterday, right? Women are running rap right now. Name me the female rapper that's making songs pro man, that's celebrating men. I'm talking about the LL Cool J of women. You got one? The Plies, the Cummins, the Ja Rule, the one that makes songs celebrating and saying how good men are. You don't see them. But maybe that's just the rappers. They got to be hardcore. Let's talk about the singers. I know there's an equivalent of Jaheim. Put that man first. No, not one
You
song.
got Beyonce.
Or
got Tony
you got-
Braxton.
let's
Tony
say when a
Braxton
man
makes
set up,
songs for
R. Kelly. None of that? No, we ain't got no them song. Or it's a man's world. I know it's a woman's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a man. Nah, you ain't gonna see none of them songs. So again, women don't give us nothing to obsess about. They don't do nothing for us, specifically for us. So why should we obsess over them?
Let me see Tony Braxton. I know she's made some songs that was all about the man.
What Beyonce? Crazy in Love, Dangerously in Love.
96, 92, Tony? Oh, okay, I got you.
Beyonce Crazy in Love.
Yeah, Crazy in Love. Beyonce got a lot of them with the what Cater to You.
Beyonce is talking
All
about
of those
her man.
Destiny's Child did Cater to You.
See, that's what y'all get misconstrued. Women talk about their man, not men. Men rap about and sing about women. Period. Just the utter love of women and the appreciation of women in all facets. Women rap about and sing about their specific man. And then the other 10, 12 songs on the CD is about how bad he is.
Damn, Chris. Well, I'm so proud right now. Totally nailed it, my man. Hardy did have a point. Listen, I always say, and this is what I want to talk to Dr. Jada tomorrow about. Music people say music don't matter, it don't have an impact. It does. It shapes your generation. You look at the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, man, music. I remember in the 90s, man, bro, everything was love from H-Town to Jodeci. These niggas in the desert was suits on, burning up, talking about a woman. And then it's my woman, but they gonna sing with me. They helped me get my woman back. And then it turned into I hate hoes, hoes hate me. And then it turned into what we got this right now with the City Girls and Cardi B. We drugging me in, we getting money out of them. So y'all totally came back with a vengeance because the music right now don't promote anything productive or even beneficial for us. Because it's a different era in music. And I think the ladies.
I bet you they play it though.
Ooh, City Girls.
Love them some Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah. We're not a Meg supporting cast here. But I digress. Ladies, before I go to the question that you guys are bringing on tonight, I want to ask a question for me personally. One of the most trending videos are those type of videos that either when men get on and go against men, oh, men aren't doing this to women and men aren't doing this for women, right? But then you see the women videos that talk about men as well. So let me ask you a question. Why does being submissive, in a conversation about being submissive, get to be so heated or so triggering for women on social media? And I'm going to ask Dr. Tamika Manning.
I think it's because a lot of men, they don't have a clue about true submission and what it means. Men have it misconstrued that control over a woman and her following his lead, even if it's not right, that's where it is. It's not, men need to know the value and what it really actually means to be to be the lead and allow the person, because I think women do not have a problem being submissive if the man truly knows what it means. In my experience, the man will say, you're not submissive. Well, you're not a good leader. Plain and simple. You don't even know what it means. Like, literally, I'm thinking of the biblical meaning of submission, not just what man says it is.
All right, Dr. April Givens.
Well, I agree. I mean, define submission. What does that look like? I think it's different for different people. If everybody's taking on their own meaning of what submission is, I don't think a woman has an issue with being submissive if the man, like Dr. Tamika said, can demonstrate that he knows how to lead and that he's an effective communicator and an effective provider. So that plays a tremendous role in whether a woman will follow you anywhere or not.
Chris Leo.
Okay. Well, first of all, I've been on record for saying this. I don't expect submission from a woman. I don't tell men to expect submission from a woman. I think when people are in their submissive state, they're not in their fully flourishing mind and thinking. They're not at their full capacity when they're being submissive. I ask for cooperation. That's all. I ask for cooperation, not submission. You don't have to submit to me. I'm not a god. I'm not technically your king. I'm your fictional daddy. But so I don't ask for submission. Cooperation looks more like what you do at your job. You may not like every decision that's made from the higher ups, but you go with it because you're a team player. You see that there's a vision here, and you want to be cooperative with it. You don't want to come in and always be combative with your boss. You want to work with it, and that's all. And I think that's all men should ask for. Submission is, it can get very vague, but you're gonna get into the point where you get women tell you about what the doctors talked about was conditional submission. And because if you know how to lead, that would mean they would be the judge of how to lead. I believe that if you knew how to lead, you knew how leaders look, you knew how they sound, you knew where they went, you knew what they did, then you should have just picked you a leader. Why wait? Let this man get with you, and then once you want to start leading, he's been in this whole relationship, and now you question his judgment. I personally don't get that. If you're so keen and know how to spot leadership, don't waste your time with the dude walking up on you in the grocery store. Just go where the leaders are and pick them. So, but yeah, I never ask for submission. I would never coach guys to ask for submission. Cooperation is what you're looking for.
All right,
You sure about that?
I just, yeah.
All right. I know it sounded like you didn't know. I just wanted to make sure.
I
gotta agree with you, Chris, for a little bit, because you shouldn't ask for submission. Leaders lead from the front. The woman's gonna naturally submit. I know you don't like that word, Chris, but cooperation is good. But when you don't ask for it and you show yourself to be who you are, they're gonna figure out if they want to get with your program or not. But the doctors did say some good points. If you can't communicate it, how can you expect the person to follow you? You can't. So, I think we as men got work to do on that part, but you got to make sure that what you're asking for, you can give in return, and you'll be all right. But I don't see asking for submission. I think a lot of men do demand it, or it's said a lot. I guess nowadays with the internet and everybody has access to a mic, so they speak and they talk about the submission part. But again, like I said, it's the leader. And you don't want to demand that from a woman. She'll give it to you if you're doing what you should be doing. I think that's it. But I think the communication part that you mentioned, Doc, is a huge key to getting that, because if she understands which direction the train is going, it's easy to know if I want to jump on board or not.
Right.
So that's what I took from that. But the cooperation piece, Chris, that you brought to the table is essential, because as you guys mentioned in that first piece, if the ultimate goal is going to be unification, you got to cooperate at some point. So I don't know, but that's what I got. I'm not a brain surgeon, but it don't take a whole lot, I don't think, to figure it out. But what about you, Mario?
I'm
Fired,
Motherfucker.
I'm firing your ass.
So Mario, see you.
I'm sorry.
All right. So I definitely disagree with most of what was said
Thank God.
so far. I think cooperation and submission is definitely two different things. I think cooperation means that most of the time you have an idea, you agree to go along with it. But most of the time you cooperating with something, you believe in it, or you going along with it, or some kind of way you can see how it can work out. You found some kind of like-minded or some kind of agreement of what's being told. Submission means even when you can't see a way, you're trusting that person that they see a way. And that's what I need as a leader. See, I've been a manager, I've been a lead, I've been a lot of stuff a lot of times. And one thing I hate is somebody, when I'm getting paid to do a job, is questioning my authority or questioning my thought. That's what I'm getting paid for. So right now, if somebody came in my office all the time and told me, well, I think we should do it this way, and give me this soliloquy of why they should do it, I'm going to listen. But once I say, hey, this the way we going, I don't need you to cooperate. At that point, I need you to listen, because that's the way we going, because that's what my job is. See, that's submission. I don't need you. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to make you. I need you to make a conscious decision that this is my role. This is the role I play, and I'm going to hear to what you're saying. But at the end of the day, if we come to an impasse where it's a difference in opinions, then you're going to have to trust that I have the say, the last say. Because I agree with Chris on this. You chose me. Because if I'm the leader, if I'm the man, that's the position you put me in by saying I do. That you're saying that you're willing to submit to my final opinion. Because like Dr. Tamiko said, if you're Bible-based, then it should be me listening to God. And if you have a God-fearing man, you should be knowing that I'm getting led by God, so that you can't see when God was telling Noah to build the ark. His wife never was in those meetings, didn't do this, but she believed in Noah. So she believed that Noah was a God-fearing man. Noah was listening to God. So I don't see where the water coming from. I don't see why we building this ark in the desert. I don't know how this is going to save us, but I believe my man has an ear to God, and this is who I chose to lead me. So there we go. So that's why I think that's the difference, because I just want to, on my end, because cooperation, I've seen a lot of people cooperate, and most of the time, the bad part of cooperation is when you don't submit, you become a problem.
You mean to tell me Noah didn't have to have a degree in architecture for his wife to follow him? She just believed in him instead of her saying, "Well, if you knew how to read blueprints, Noah, I'll follow you."
Well, I think she believed in God, and I think that part right there get overlooked a lot. She believed in God, and so by her believing in God, she believed God empowered her husband. So by defying him, you would define God, because she believed God gave her the word. But she became weary too. Now she questioned. That's why I say it's not all about what you said. What was the word you used, Chris? Cooperation. Because at some points I have to believe she was not cooperating, but she didn't never not submit. And that's what I think, that she didn't ever go against the grain, but not stop him from leading. And I think that's the only thing submission is. But I do believe people take it out of context or use it wrong, and they think it's like you have to listen to everything somebody say, right or wrong. No, I think that's just craziness. That ain't submission. That's just stupidity. Like if somebody tells you to jump off a bridge, you need to go the other way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you believe this man is a leader, you chose him.
But I don't see why you've been on multiple dates with a guy that
right.
I don't know why you gave him your number. I don't know why y'all had sex. I don't know why y'all got to the point where you're about to get in a relationship or you're in a relationship. I'm saying if he can't lead, then why are you even there? What's the point of being there? Don't wait in retrospect and say, well, you can't lead, and you can't lead to my standards of what I understand. Because what I've learned is that leadership doesn't always appeal to your ear. It doesn't. It's some of the times you ain't gonna like what's being said. The point is, Are you
A lot of time.
believing in the team? Do you believe in what we're doing? And are you willing to do your part?
But this is the
Yep.
thing. A lot of times people show up as their representative.
Absolutely.
So that's the main
100%.
thing. They can have, hey, absolute leadership skills when they first come to you, and everything looks good and it all plays out, and you go along, and then that's what it is until something happens, and then it's not. So the representative shows up initially.
So you're fooled. You have the capacity to be fooled by a representative, yet you have the knowledge to pick the leader, to know what a leader should be.
We all are fooled until we
How can
ask
you know?
enough questions and get to know the person.
I'm saying, but how can you be able to have the knowledge to know what a leader should do and what a leader how a leader should be, but you can't? You're being fooled by a representative. How?
I think what Chris is saying is I'm in construction, and if I'm hiring right now, if you don't know about construction, like I know what construction is, I know what it is. Like so, it's you can't come and fool me and when we start reading plans, when we start talking about budgets, when we start talking about foreshadowing, you can't fool me because you can fool somebody who probably don't know because this is actually what I do. So if you are a leader, then I don't believe somebody can come to you and give you a false representation of what a leader is, because that's like somebody telling you how to be you. Like I'm a leader. Like I can see dudes right now. I've hired people and say, bro, from the beginning, I don't care what your resume say. You don't say leader to me. That's what I'm saying.
But some people are actors. They can put on a front. They done studied the leadership book and then went to the class and then came to you and told you everything it is to be a leader until you see them in action. When you see them in action, then you realize that wasn't really leadership, that they was a fraud and they was time.
That's what he just was saying.
Let me just add to what Dr. A just said. You guys have met ladies before and they were cooking dinner for you and they showed up and they had all these fancy things for you and put you first and did all this, and then once you got into a relationship, you've had a breakup, right? Before. Okay, that's
right.
Probably why you had a breakup, because the representative showed up, it didn't work out. We've all been there. Like if you ever had a breakup.
But we seen hints though.
I think it's different. No, most of the time men go into a relationship by getting comfortable. First of all, we go into it trying to have sex, and then we get comfortable, then we start chilling with them, and then we say this is somebody we could be around, and then we mess around and be in a relationship most of the time. And then we like, oh, it's time to get serious. We're like, oh hell no, not this one. And then we go on. Most men don't get tricked into a relationship. That's you don't hear too many men want to say, oh man, she got me, boy, she tricked me. She showed me her representative. You know, that's not quotes that's come from men. Because most men, for one, we are the deciders. Like most men are the askers. So you can't trick me into marrying you. I have to ask you to be married. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time. So no matter what, the decision's still mine. So I ain't trying to be funny. I wasn't looking for it. Now, when I started looking for it, I might have seen it wasn't there. But from the beginning, I ain't gonna lie to you. See, I think that's what a lot of people do. They say they was looking for it in the beginning and somebody was lying, instead of saying I wasn't looking for it in the beginning. And then when I start looking for it, it wasn't there.
Let me ask you a question. Ladies, y'all know football, right? So you got a preseason and got a regular season, right? So let's say preseason is the whole time around y'all call Cloud 9. He acting good, he acting like this, blah, 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 right? And then y'all say he changed. For this moment on, I want y'all to judge who that person really is after y'all have sex. Because on both sides of the ball, people are going to put their best foot forward until they get what they really want. And then y'all get mad and say, oh, after we had sex, he changed. Maybe because that's all he wanted. But after y'all have sex, then you're going to see who the person really is. So that's just my tidbit to y'all. So whether it's submissive or not, I think women always say, oh, well, you know, he was putting the best foot forward in the beginning and then he changed. From this moment on, hey, when we trying to get it and women do the same, I'm putting on the best. I'm giving you all I got. And then when I get it, it's like a light bulb go off. Poof, mission accomplished. Mm-hmm. I might stay around. Okay, damn, it was pretty good. I like her. You know, we chilling. Cool. I think I'm going to keep her around and I'll build off that. But y'all look at this joker that you met and you gauge that to be him. And I think, just to be fair, maybe I gave it, there was a man law violation, but I don't know why y'all be like y'all the victims every time, because Tony showed you who Tony really is after he didn't came and clapped the cheeks. Sorry, Chris.
No, they wouldn't give no man the advice of, hey, put your worst foot forward first. They would never get that advice. What else is he supposed to do? No, you know what, man? I'm gonna just go medium right now. I ain't gonna put my best foot forward. That should be positive. No, it doesn't work like that. Everything gonna have a crescendo. Things are going to drop. Just like what you said with her cooking. Yes, she's gonna cook more fellatio in the beginning. But what you're trying to find before you say, yeah, I want to be with you or marry you or whatever, you're trying to find out how many days out of that week that you can deal without the cooking and the fellatio and still want to be with her. That's the thing. That's the thing that you marry her. You know the fellatio is going down. You know the cooking is going down. You already know there's going to be a drop. There's going to be some weight. Everything you expect that. You ain't asking her to marry you for those things. You asking her to marry you for totally other things that you like, and you can deal with. So
I think that's a great point, Chris. I think this is just speaking for me and my personal journey. I think that a lot of men, for me talking to men, because I talked to a lot of men who was, I guess, married or getting married. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to because I ain't had no blueprint to this when I first jumped off the porch. So I feel like a lot of men, honestly, do it, Chris. And I always give advice right now when they ask me. I married my wife because when nothing was going wrong, when nothing was going right, nothing was going on right, I felt like I could just chill with you. Because you can't fool me. I seen how she budget money. Like you can't bullshit like that. Some stuff you can't play with me on. Like I seen that you was a lover of God, not because you went to church, but because even when I come up, I'm seeing you pray. I'm seeing you like stuff happen to you, and the first thing you do is say, "Thank you, Lord." And then I'm seeing that you go into like deep. Like I'm watching you because that's my intent. At that point, I was looking to see if you was a wife. When I was dating and I was trying to see who I could just chill with, I wasn't looking. So them kind of women could have fooled me because I wasn't really paying attention to you because I wasn't ready to be married. But once a man start wanting to be married, he don't have to say it to the public. But once him and himself start saying, "I want to settle down," his criteria of a woman get a little more in depth. I think a lot of women want that, and they still date. They still look at me in the same on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? I be talking to women. I be like, "So how did he trick you?" Like I saw him. I met him when you right after you met him. The first time you introduced me to him, everything you're complaining about right now, I seen.
Right.
So that's the representative that I met. This is the same nigga you talking about you don't like right now. That's the same people. They must be twins.
You fell in love, and the representative wasn't good.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like because he made her feel good, and I think that go back to what Dr. April was saying. You can give somebody a representative if you're only looking for an emotional high. So if I can fulfill you with a felonious feelings of love and care and all that because that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for substance, I don't think you can fake that to somebody who truly looking for that. And I think we get mixed up looking for happiness and care and love and all those it words, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who done the work, somebody who motivated, got to lead all that crap, but then you're looking for somebody who actually care. And I think, I could be wrong, but that is what I think.
Nah, I like that part about you saying when nothing else was going right, you could chill with her. It's almost like Superman with the Fortress of Solitude. Like those moments, man, looking for some solace, looking for some peace, looking for some comfort. So I like that point. I'm going to use that one, Mario.
No, I think most men, Chris, right though. On that, most men know a woman. Come on, bro. Everybody. I don't know how old y'all is. I'm 40, right? So I just became 40, right? So at the end of the day, we can't. We done been around the bush long enough to know that at the end of the day, a man gonna gain weight, a woman gonna gain weight. We're gonna have busy lives. We're not gonna have sex all the time. We're not gonna do all that young twin. You know what I'm saying? That's how some people. So I don't think most men looking for that all the time. I think they saying it because they capping. Because most men ain't having sex like they saying they having sex. For one, So I think that's a cap from the beginning because women think men just out of both legs, and that's definitely not happening. You know, most of these dudes dry as Sahara, capping like I don't know what. So we're gonna just stop that lie right now. And so I think that a lot of times women come in intimidated, thinking, "Oh man, how am I gonna fulfill this illustrious sex drive that this nigga who ain't had sex in 3 months supposedly got?" So no, I think that's a bunch. I agree with the cap.
What if you be the woman who have an illustrious sex drive?
Then and I think more women have higher sex drives than men. That's my point. I agree. I believe more women. It's just that men are lying and saying they do, and women are lying and saying they don't. Women are saying, nah, they don't want to talk about sex. And I've learned that the women who don't want to say nothing about sex, don't want to entertain it. Woo. But then the dudes who, yeah, boy, you know, I'm knocking them down every week, and boy, I can't keep them out. Yeah.
Man.
Right.
Bro, where you at?
Dry as Sahara.
Shit, I'm at the house. By yourself? Every time I call you, bro, you answer the phone, you by yourself. You know that, right?
But you blowing backside.
Like, so I know the cap, bro. I know I don't in times of my life, I done been long periods of time when I've been like focused. Like me and my homeboys talk about that stuff when it's not even a want. And women don't believe that. Sometimes men go for that, like I'm really focusing on what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And women still think you swinging, but it ain't.
Ooh.
Mario, it's amazing how on this show we transition into different comments, into different topics, and right on point. Well, I won't listen. The lady submitted a question, and it was very polite, and then it got crass. So the ladies complained about men in their older years, and the question was, the topic was low testosterone, right? Right? And then they just got blunt and said, what causes men dick not to work? Is it a medical issue or mental connection? And I say, well, damn.
We want to know.
I don't know.
Old man said that thing jumped bad.
We don't know because seriously, studies show men in their late 30s and early 40s are having issues with maintaining an erection, but you have men that's over 50 that can maintain an erection. So
I think the younger, my bad. Go ahead.
Guys.
No, I was gonna say I think that the younger dudes probably done blew their motor. See, the older guys didn't have the internet like this, so whether they having Wacky Wednesday or they ordering $40 deals on OnlyFans or Backpage, them boys have been putting in some work. So by the time they get time, they desensitized. And Chris already said, you can see the things that we used to look forward to at the scroll of a finger. Whereas my grandfather, the moo-moos that my grandma was wearing, I don't even understand how you had all the kids that you had. Just wanted a woman. So now, and a fun fact, we had a gentleman that lived on our street that told us he didn't lose his virginity till 21. These kids doing all type of stuff at 10, 11 years old. So yeah, your motor blown by the time you're 29, 30. So I'm sorry. That's what I see. But I understand them old guy.
Well, I want to be fair to the men. The low testosterone thing is interesting. And when he got the question turned and went bad, so dicks don't work. I would just give some insight. We do have an era where first impressions are everything. So a lot of times you go to the gas station, you see the Steel Horse 4000, you see the Crazy Horse, you see Red Eagle, all them gas station pills, right? Because he really want to knock her head, he want to knock her wig between the dresser. Not knowing that after he take that pill, now I got to take it again. Or even if he don't take it again, she looking for that same penis that came that first time. And a lot of guys out here taking, at an early age, they taking Viagra, they taking the honey, not knowing that the bootleg honey they taking got Viagra and Cialis in it. And then your body confused. Third thing, which is most important, doctors will know this, Viagra works by dropping your blood pressure low. But then when it does come back up, it's going to go back up fast, right? And, you know, it starts a trend. So that's why I said for a lot of people, that may be issue. But you asked whether it's medical or mental. And for each person, it is different. Some dudes have had a legendary cam session, right? And then they get to a point in life where they ain't even motivated. They not stimulated. Like I done had every coochie imaginable, like, yeah. And then you got some that, like they say, they didn't blew a motor. They didn't did it. Or I didn't watch so much porn that I ain't really stimulated. And to be honest, looking at Instagram, yeah, even the baddest ones be half naked all day. So at least back in the day when you watch the old movies, when they about to make love, they fade to black, and then the next day the lady in there cooking up the eggs. You knew what happened. She didn't have no lingerie. She had on that big ass moo. So, to each his own. Super Mario.
I think it's the main two characteristics of this, and this is why I think that I preach this. Like your body, people act like middle age is 50. The average human live to be 80. So like you're right. Once you start getting 35, 40, you halfway there, nigga. The next step is senior citizen. So, but nowadays, doing what happened is this: men, I agree, is drugs, right? So let me just stick. One point of them is drugs, right? So when now the guys who 50 and 60, they probably was on plant-based drugs, cocaine, weed, heroin. Those are still like drugs that come from. Now you on these laboratory drugs that's superly made, that's in this. You don't know what the side effects yet because we haven't even been doing them drugs for long enough to see that after 60 years of taking this drug, this is the side effect. We still getting side effects from aspirin that was from 1990, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a lot of things. And then one thing for sure, if you ever know anything about working out and stuff like that, testosterone can get fulfilled by a lot of drugs. So once you start putting stuff in your body that stops your body from making testosterone naturally, it's so hard. And sometimes your body will never make that amount again. It will always need something to put it back up. So you're right. When you go into the corner store, or when you doing this to get you an extra little, when your dick work right now at 20, it worked, but you want to be Rocky Balboa, and then you don't understand is you putting the ceiling. So now your testosterone, instead of going all the way up the hill, it's going to right here because the pill take it to right here. So then over time, your testosterone never goes back up there. It just goes to where right here because that's where it's normally been able to go, and then it's been sufficing. That's another thing. And then your diet. Like people don't understand. I'm 40, so I go to the doctor. These people know I'm not capping. I go to the doctor all the time. Like since I've been 30, I've been like, you got to go to the doctor. We got to go to the doctor. Black men die because of lack of knowledge, not because of diseases, because of lack of knowledge. Bro, cholesterol lowers your testosterone. Like greasy foods, it's some fruits and stuff you can eat to spike up your testosterone. I believe the diets of the people right now, due to some of it ain't our fault, we work too much. So sometimes we ain't getting home cooked meals. We going to get fast food that's radiated, or we rushing out. We working 2 or 3 jobs and trying to get over, but we killing ourselves with the stuff we eating. That's why we getting more prostate cancer. It's a lot of stuff that's going on, but it's killing our testosterone because we don't think about it until we get to the stage of it don't work. We don't know that for the last 5 years we've been killing it slowly. So then we get in there a couple of days and be like, man, what's going on? Then, like Horace said, the first thing your doctor gonna say is, here go this blue pill. They're not gonna say, well, if you eat maca root, if you start drinking more, at least 24 hours, 34 ounces of water a day, if you start exercise, they're gonna say, here goes some Cialis, here goes some of this, and then there you go. And next thing you know, you on that. And once you on that stuff, like as a prescription, oh, you dead. Then now you're gonna need that for the rest of your life because your body can't. It's gonna take so much for you to get back to your body pumping that testosterone like it's supposed to. Just to even gain weight. And I don't think I'm gonna let this go. I don't think people understand testosterone means so much to a man because your physique will never be the same. Like your estrogen is what causes you to store fat and like in different places and stuff like that. So when you be saying, man, it'd be hard for you to gain muscle. It'd be hard for you to look manly now all of a sudden because you're taking them pills because you can't produce it. It'll mess you up, man. I think that's what's happening to a lot of men. And that's one of my biggest fears. That's why I don't give a damn. People know if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna make sure I hit that gym. I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna try to eat right every night. I ain't the fittest guy in the world, but one thing I don't want is my wife to leave me because I'm over there with the ramen noodle. So go ahead, Chris.
Well, I'm not a Willie inspector, so I don't know about other people's shortcomings. I say, but I speak on me personally, man. I don't know, man. I catch dead batteries at the weirdest times. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time I'm full blow, but I catch a dead battery at the weirdest times. Like I catch a dead battery if I like. Let's say I'd like her for some strange reason. I catch a dead battery. If obviously if it has some kind of older dead battery. What else? I'm like regular. If it's just gonna be PG-13, you know what I'm saying, missionary, whatever. That's dead battery all day. I also take blood pressure pills, so I had an incident where I was ready, and then that boy just dead battery. Just kept on. It'll flip. It's like you jump in the car, flick back up, and then. Like, you know what I'm saying? I blamed it that time on the blood pressure pills. What else? Wacky Wednesday. You know, sometimes you get desensitized now. If you didn't, I was a perv when I was young, so I used to
definitely burnt out a couple of VCR.
Yeah, I got burnt. I would have been burnt out. So that could happen too. But like I said, I don't know about other people, man. But I think that dead batteries. I didn't call them. I'm normally straight, but that shit can hit you at any point in time, and there's just no way of, expecting it to just hit you.
But that's normal. What you talking about, Chris?
But no,
I ain't never started no powder now. So,
but Chris made the point though. We do have mental moments because if it happened to you one time, it's gonna happen to me one time in my whole life, and then it mentally fucked me up for the rest because. It mentally will have you like it's such an insult to you, like not me. I'm not that nigga. And then the next time you thinking like, shit, is this about to happen? Because there's nothing you can do as a man to control that.
But is it because of excitement though? You're too excited because you're ready to do it, so you just too excited to where it just.
Sometimes it's God save you from
that. I'll tell you a quick story I probably shouldn't tell. I remember this girl at school told me, like, if you go home right now, I'm coming over there. I'm going to rock your world. And I thought I was something else in school now. So I'm like, yeah. I done told my dog, told my brother to leave the house. And I was like, yeah, this wasn't nothing. She was just saying so much stuff. And I was like, oh, man. So I'm like, we finna. Man, I went there. You talking about dead battery. I tried to go to AutoZone 3 times. And there's nothing that happened. I was like, this is crazy. I was so embarrassed. I was so mad. And she hit me with this, okay. And then just walk home. So I'm like, what the hell? Do you understand? I walked out the door and seen this girl was, excuse me, to be vulgar, ladies. This girl was a nice looking lady and butt naked, and there's nothing could happen. She walked home. I walked to the corner. She went up. I walked out the door. Zay could have told me, I was going to tell him the story because he stayed right across the street. A girl was walking up the street and my pants, I like to bust through the front. I'm like, what the God? I tried to throw my hat down. I was so mad. I was calling her back. She had to put me on block. I was like, oh Lord, I'm killed. But I'm saying that's what Chris talking about that right there. That anxiety. Like I was so like ready to, cause she was acting like she was just, and I was like, I gotta meet her where she at. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just going in there. And I'm just thinking that's what that was. But I'm talking about seconds after a girl fully clothed walked by. And I was ready to go, like nothing happened. I'm like, what the hell this happened to me? I had called my uncle. I was finna like I asked to go to the doctor. I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, man, this is crazy.
I think I peed his nose though, because the one time it happened to me, I left, walked down the stairs, got in the car. That thing was a goddamn rocket, and I'm like, okay. And I think sometimes you really know, like, nah, this ain't it, boy.
But you guys are visual. So that was my question, though. You, Super Mario said she was a nice looking girl, and I thought that have a bearing on it as well. Like, have you all hooked up with some ugly women that you weren't attracted to and was like, I can't, I'm having issues? Or does it make a difference? Because I know you guys.
After that was you just simply got to here.
I'm curious.
Oh man. Hey, that has happened.
I'm sorry,
to answer that question truthfully. No, but that has happened truthfully. And then there's been a lot of times that that ugly woman gonna get it because she just happened to be there. You got those guys too. So when you wonder how those women get knocked up, that's how that happens. She was there, space and opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Look the same when it's dark.
Tune-up fight.
3 years in a row.
What?
I won top wingman of the year 3 men in a row. I was walking into to stuff that I know that if somebody had ever known about it, I'd be banished from every man. But you know, one thing my homeboy know, I'm going. If I say I'm with you, I'm with you.
To death do his part, boy. Listen.
Hey, the drought in '99. Never forget that time when I had to break the drought and I was walking this big ass girl in the dark, and nigga 2 blocks over say, "Tootie, we see you."
Holding hands. Don't leave out the holding hands.
Oh my God. I'm gonna get this jig off me tonight. And then the dog. Yeah, you think we don't see you with that big ass girl?
But you know what? I'll be honest though, ladies. It's not the ugly. It's that odorific. You have had that because you know you can have God bless the dead. Big Horace told me a long time ago, and it probably was the worst advice ever. But he said, Zay, he said, son, he looked at me, he said, son, you can find some good stuff in ugly places. And I said, damn, you know what? He might be on to something because niggas ain't going over there looking. You know, whatever.
No,
that's just
say he was a poet that didn't never get his credit. That man was preaching to you.
He didn't. And man, listen, but those ones that are cute and you are ready for, and you get over there, and then after about the second thrust, something magically get stuck in your nose. That's what happens. Yeah, they're gonna talk trash and say, he won this and he won that, but they ain't gonna never say that they were odorific. That causes a big problem too. That causes a major problem.
Horace's job. I know he has an agenda. This way he gets upset with me. I hear about this tomorrow. But ladies, since y'all alone, I want to know. Women right now as homeboys, we be brutally honest with each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, Chris come in the house. Me and Chris we was in Atlanta. We stayed together for a lot of years. He come out and be like, damn, bro, you mugging it? You out there hooping? Like, that's like as homeboys, we gonna say that to each other. Bro, get off the couch. He might come in there, damn, how you think you might need to know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So how do a lot of women be telling those stories like, yeah, his da-da-da-da, but you don't tell the part of it's no way. I felt and like that was like, this has to smell like it's sometimes it's just like you had sex smell, but then sometimes it's like this is like I think you're trying to kill me. Like it's something wrong here, clearly. Like something wrong, and you tried to I felt offended. Like you tried to give me something that's wrong. Like, and I know women know that, but I know if I smelled it from just like not even in it yet, just on the top, I know a homegirl knows this too, and nobody's saying nothing like, girl, this is ridiculous, right?
Because it shouldn't have an odor, and there obviously is something wrong, which that raises a red flag, most definitely. That if it has, of course, it has a distinct smell, but not a stank, not an odor. So something is definitely wrong and definitely, I don't know if women are desensitized if they have an odor or because I actually know a couple of women that I grew up with a girl that she smelled, but she did take baths on a regular basis. She went to the doctor because we would tell her something's wrong. The doctor checked her out, couldn't really find what was going on with her. I mean, literally, she knew. But again, she bathed on a regular basis. There are some people that have something wrong with them, but there are also other women who have like bacterial diseases, whatever you call it, bacteria. Those are the things that they need to go to the doctor, tell their gyno, and say, hey, there's something wrong. But no, it should not be an odor. When you walk by,
but this is the thing.
Some women eat certain things and you eat certain foods, which causes you to have an odor too. So you have to kind of minimize some of that stuff.
Yeah, like
I was going to say that you have, because we down here in Florida, so we have, an array of island women. And you're right about the diet, because there's some women that have like a body odor, like their body just smells like that. And that's one thing. But we talking about them other ones, them offensive ones that, again, like you say, they make they make me really become a Jamaican. I got what's going on here? Because this ain't right. And it sometimes it's before you even get in the act, but a lot of times that flagrant foul happens after y'all started playing ball, and it's very offensive. And some of you women that's on here, I don't know if it's you, but if he ain't call you back, might have been it. Just telling you, don't kill the messenger. I've been getting in trouble about speaking my truth lately, but I'm just putting it out there. That may be it. Now, you turn and you say his stuff didn't work.
Yeah, and men don't get credit for that because a lot of men don't spray women for that. A lot of men don't spray women for that. They don't. They really don't.
Also, to add to it, and it's like I've smelled some women in the gym in the morning, and it's offensive. This is my personal take on it. I think women need to bathe more than men. I think we need to sit in water, and I think we need to stand up. Like in the morning, I shower, and at night, I'm physically in the water. Like I think we need to soak. But I don't, that's a conversation that, needs to be like, I tell the young girls at the school, like we have to take more because of things that come out of our body. We have to get in water more. We have to come in contact. I tell them sometimes you may have to actually bathe 3 times. You have your menstrual, if we work out, I mean, I just say women need to come in contact with water more than men. I know
but you have to get in the water and clean. Some women get in the shower and
don't know how to clean.
It's hit and miss. You got to open up some pockets, go through some things, stick a towel inside of something, and just really get in there and clean. That's how it is. Don't be afraid to use soap, Summer's Eve, or whatever the case may be. That's why they have the products. So utilize it.
Yes, don't leave it in the bathroom. I've lived with a woman before. Take it out of the bathroom. I don't want to see that little balloon and pole thing. I don't want to see that. Throw that shit away.
Sometimes you gotta look your woman in the eye and say, "Hey, baby, your rabbit sick.
Yeah.
Take you to the hospital."
I agree. If you messing with her, you should be honest enough with her to tell her. Because we don't smell our girlfriends. But the thing about it is women can smell themselves. You know when you stink. So if you know that you stinking, you need to go ahead and take your shower and clean yourself up. But typically, your friends, you're not going. Now, if it's your close friend, your best friend, you can tell her that. But typically,
so Dr. April, I be thinking that when the girl come over there, she knows she stinks. She think you the kind of nigga that's fuck with girls who stink. That's why I got to think. So I look like the kind of guy that just fuck with girls who stink.
Do I look like I was left off Bad and Bougie?
What you got going on, man? Don't come over here with that business.
Hey, do I look like I was left off Bad and Bougie?
Oh, man.
Come on, man. I'm offended, man. How dare you?
Yeah, so listen, sometimes men know more about them pocketbooks than the women do. You know what I mean? So
that's a topic for another night.
Sure is.
I know being really, just open and just talking about it. We tried to do a show talking about this, but no men will come on. Nobody wanted to come on and discuss this with us.
Oh, we them dudes though.
We raising some questions
because
they raising charges on us.
What you say?
I want to know this too, Dr. April, while you're on here, because I got so many inquisitive questions. I know we're running long.
So she said,
why do women believe so many guys that about their sex history? Like I got homegirls, right? And then sometimes I don't know, I'm never a hater. So sometimes I just sit back and say, man, this nigga lied through his teeth. And she'll be telling me how she think he's such a great Casanova, how he got so many. And I'm like, us fellas, we know, like, man, you know what I'm saying? But I be like, and they be thinking like, and I be hearing the way they talk and stuff like this, and you can tell the guy who done kind of been around, you know how to do a little thing or two. But I'm like, why do I guess my question is, why is there a big gap in the understanding of like men who really attract women and men who just talking about it? Like, why can't women? Because that go back to what Chris saying. If you all these spidey senses and women's intuition and stuff like this, how do women get fooled so easily by dudes who are bums who men can see from miles away if they got women's intuition and all that other stuff?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess it's because some men talk a good game, and they do, especially if you're a woman and you in that headspace to where you know, you just really want to talk to somebody. Maybe you lonely, you just want a buddy to chat with every now and then, text throughout the day. And you got this man that's being consistent. He's consistently texting you good morning every day. You know, he's texting you throughout, asking you how your day doing. So he done already hooked you there, because most women like men who are constantly checking in on them throughout the day just to see how they're doing. So if he's doing that, and then he just start to talk, you start to kind of believe until you meet him and kind of see where he's lacking. Then you can start to see that some of the stuff that he was saying was just a bunch of bull. But initially, if you just, you know, let's say you made him online and you just talking and communicating on the phone or whatever, you made a FaceTime and all of that stuff, you can't really truly see somebody until you really see them in person. Because FaceTime can be deceiving. Talking on the phone, listening to their voice can be deceiving. Until you meet them face to face, that's when you see, oh, it was just a bunch of bull.
We know some guys that's magicians, and they great. I'm just telling you. So you can't say that. Yeah.
No,
I'm telling you.
Dr. Manny got
Just
an answer
telling you.
though. Mario, Dr. Manny didn't answer. She's quiet.
Oh yeah.
I missed part of the question. I'm sorry. I had to jump off for a second. I had a
He pretty much said with all his men, all his women's intuition and spider senses, how y'all so easily fooled.
I wouldn't say easily fooled, but again, I mean, you know, you have people out there that, you know, like Dr. April said, I think in one of the past shows that we did, date a person all 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. It takes time to get to know people. You don't automatically know a person when you first meet them. It is, somebody mentioned the charm. You go out on a few dates and then you haven't seen them fully yet. And I don't think it's about being fooled. I just think, you know, people, of course, initially show you what they want you to see. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, as time goes on, then you're able to say, okay, no, I see some things. And then you have to make a decision, because sometimes we then make excuses. Oh, they'll change.
Right.
Or, you know, I need to cut them some slack. I'm being a little bit too hard on the person. So we basically then turn around and deceive ourselves, because we make excuses for people when we in fact know that, no, this is really probably not the person, but right. I'm going to give them a chance anyway.
But then as women, we want to give people the benefit of the doubt too. Especially if you're trying to get to know a man and you date him. I know it's the worst thing that we can do according to y'all men, but that's how women, that's how we naturally are. We want to give him the benefit of the doubt until he shows us differently. Now, I always tell people, if you can ask enough questions and ask enough open-ended questions, and you have somebody that's willing to communicate and answer those questions, you can find out everything you need to know about someone in the matter of the first 2 or 1 conversation that you have with them, depending on how long you have the conversation. But a lot of times men put up their guard. You be wanting to ask questions, you're asking questions, and then he got something to do. Okay, well, I'm gonna call you back. Or it's always avoiding the conversation of having the long conversation, and you never get around to really asking what it is, all the important things that you need to, because every time you get into wanting to have a conversation, he does something to make you not be able to talk.
He on your ass.
I'll say this too. Well,
sex.
Yeah, well, I think those all great points, right? I think my biggest thing was like, so when do self-accountability come into the play then? Like I'm saying, like if Chris, like I'm saying, because some people, don't get me wrong, I understand you're speaking of, and it seems like y'all always speaking of this amazing guy, right? Okay, it's a lot of those guys like that who are great with conversation, have a lot of time. It's a lot of guys who, you're right, who clock in. I always tell women that's why that 90-day shit don't work, because there's guys out here who eat those 90 days up. They coming in for 90 days to be consistent, to tear the walls down, so them rules don't work, because it's guys who train for those, right? Cool, I understand that, Mill. But see, I live in the world where I have a whole bunch of homeboys, and some of them I know are complete losers. Complete. It's nothing about them. It's no representative they have. They have no representative. They're just themselves. They're not lying. They're not showing nothing else. And they have high quality women. Mm-hmm. High quality women. See, women don't talk about those dudes because they act like those don't exist. It's a lot of dudes who not showing representatives, who coming into the show and they not requiring all this. And I think it's And those dudes it's not like just the lying, super smooth Casanova dudes getting all the women. It's a lot of niggas just niggas. Just regular niggas. They getting a lot of high quality women. And I want to know.
It's something about him that she saw that, and she overlooked everything else that it is that you see. You know, that happens a lot too. It's a lot of women that we see that's high quality who you see their partners and you like, how did she end up with him? Like, what's going on there? And sometimes you're right. Self-accountability, it could be her lack of self-esteem, why she continues to stay in that type of relationship. Maybe she feels like she can't get better or she don't deserve better. Or he whining and dining and buying her a bunch of stuff. I know several people who stay in relationships because, hey, the man then bought them their first ever Louis Vuitton purse that they can't afford on their own without him. And so they go ahead and go back to him or be with him because he buying all this stuff for them.
No, I'm saying this.
Wait, Mario. Can I just say what I say? Because I'm always going to say the asshole stuff. Let's be honest here. Most of the time, y'all can talk all that good stuff, and y'all a victim of the nightstick. He didn't put that meat on you. He didn't knock the Mario coins out of her, and all her logic is gone to the sky. So that's why nothing worked, because she is. Listen, every time she about to leave, he gonna put that baby boy on her. And now he renewed for 30 days. I'm sorry, Mario. I just had to add that.
Oh, no, I'm saying, well, I want to bring Chris in on this because I think he's a very transparent guy, and I know him long enough to know that he don't give a damn. So we're going to use Chris for Exhibit A. I know Chris. I know Chris don't have a representative. I know Chris is brutally honest about what he is in life. Like so much that when we talk, I tell him stop sometimes. So, and I know that right now, he'll even be saying, like, I'm not. And women will still be like, yes, you are. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even, it's no representative, no lying, there's no none of that. It's just like, I think a lot of women, because I don't want to say it, and I think a lot of them, they see this and they try to, and they envision in their head what Chris is going to be if they get with him, and then they try to make Chris that. And when Chris don't become that, then it's Chris' fault. When Chris from the beginning was saying, I am Chris, this is what I am, this is what I want, and this is what I got. Then they see and start falling in love with who Chris can be. And then Chris never said and signed up to be that, who you in your head. And the next thing you know, why Chris ain't shit.
Maybe they like fantasy, Mario. They like I'm going to get this dude and I change his life. And because of me, he's going to be this amazing man because I loved on him and fixed him up.
I think, there you go. Yep. I think that happens way more than it's talked about. Way more than it's talked about. I think that is the scenario that people don't like to talk about. We always talk about the.
What if she can appreciate Chris? Let's say, because you have women out there like this. What if she can appreciate Chris for who he is? Okay, it is what it is. He put it out there. He said what it is. But if I'm the type of woman and I'm not looking for nothing serious or whatever, hey, I'll go along with Chris just to get along because we both getting our needs met however we need to be. And it can turn into something more, or it don't even have to turn into something more. At the end of the day, we having fun. He can go on by and do whatever, and I go on by mine. But when we leave,
see, that's the problem. I agree with that, Dr. April. See, this is where I get the problem at. You would see what you just said. I know who Chris is. Me and Chris going along to get along, right? But at some point, you start feeling Chris, and then now, when Chris has been consistently Chris. That's what I'm saying. I got homeboys who been consistent, and that's when you know. Well, he ain't popped the question. Well, he don't want to do this now. Well, he never wanted to do that. He never said he was going to do that. You changed. You wanted more, and then all of a sudden, it's Chris' fault when he don't become more. Chris not a bad guy for that. Chris is still Chris. It's you that wanted more because you got tired of going along, getting along, and then now it's like, oh, he wasted my time, girl. He wanted shit. Oh, you know, he ain't want nothing out of life. He wanted to stay. He told you that from the beginning. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a lot of time men get wrote off as liars.
It's no secret though that a lot of women like the bad boys. Like you're drawn to that. It's a challenge. It's that thing in the back of your mind that says, guess what? I'm going to change him. He's going to change for me. And I'm not saying that men can't change because people do change for the woman that they want, so to speak. Right. But there's that thing like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be that one woman that makes him, change his mind. And I've seen it happen. I've seen where I mean, I've seen a couple date for years and years, and eventually he says, you know what, this is my wife. I mean, I've seen it both ways, and I've also seen it where a person has dated a man forever, and he knew she wasn't the wife when he met her, and he just drug it out. The best years of her life gone, and he had no intention. So I've seen it both ways, but I have seen a man change. He was kind of darkish in the beginning, and then after a few years decided, you know what, I really am digging this lady, and I'm going to ask her to be my wife. So I've seen it both ways, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of people, a lot of women that'll say, you know, that old blues song, you know, a piece of man is, I think is it Betty Wright?
Right. Betty Wright, y'all.
I don't agree with that logic, but there are some women that say, instead of me being by myself, I'll go out here and date this guy. I know he's trifling. I know he's no good.
Right.
But I am getting some. You know, I got some late night company. You know, I get to see him here and there. You know, him in between his dating this one over here and this one over here. But there are a lot of women who are afraid to be alone. I have some friends, I don't care who it is. They're like, I will, you know, I know he has a girlfriend down the street. And they'll play second, you know.
Right.
So again, there are
a lot of them don't care because they may have a boyfriend down the street. That's when you go along to get along. It's like it is what it is. You have an understanding. My thing is, when two consenting adults have an understanding, that's what they choose to do.
Chris, talk about these superheroes.
Well, for one, I didn't expect to be the
Exhibit 8
art show, but as a man that's like that, you know, I think that we always paint women in a victim mentality. Some of them like it. Some of them just like doing it. They like chaos. They like drama. They like these situations, and what they say doesn't add up to what they really mean. So I think at some point when we have these conversations, we have to take into consideration there's a percentage of women that just like that stuff, but complain and say a different thing. As for me personally, I feel like a woman would stay with me because you ain't got to worry about being called out your name. You ain't got to be worried about me taking nothing from you, wanting to hurt you in any kind of way. You can rest assured that I'm going to be honest with you in all my endeavors and our endeavors. You know, you're going to get. You know, you're gonna be satisfied, and I think that a lot of times women look at that in contrast to the relationship they've been in. You know, they've probably been with dudes, and I meet a lot of women that they didn't get their ass kicked in their relationship. They didn't got mentally and verbally abused in their relationship. You come over here, you ain't got to worry about that. That just ain't happening to you. I done seen women that been in relationships in full blown love where that man is dependent on them. You got to worry about that. I can take care of myself. You got to worry about not having to be able to talk to me. I every Monday night I talk for over an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be I'm easy to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So at some point you got to think what's important to you. Do you want it your fairy tale, or do you want somebody that genuinely cares about you? Because I'm not just going to be with no woman just to be with her. You may not be in a relationship, but any woman that I'm dealing with on a regular basis, I care for. I might even love that woman. So yeah, you might hate that I haven't gave you a title, but I also ain't gave you a black eye. I also ain't took nothing out of your bank account. I also ain't, you know, I also generally care for you. If you're in Florida and the hurricane coming, I come and put them shutters up for you. You know what I'm saying? If you get stranded, I come and change that tire. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't, you act like it's the worst thing in the world would be with Chris. It really isn't.
No, I'm acting like that's my point. So when Chris say that, and then he's telling you this is what he's giving you, and then all of a sudden, in 7 months or 2 years or a year and a half, when there's no rain or it's no you're my girlfriend now, Chris wasted a year and a half of my life. That's a lie. Chris did not waste a year and a half of your life. Chris was good to you. Chris did what he said he was going to do. He said, he didn't beat you up. He didn't put his hand. That's what I'm saying. Then, but the story will be told is Chris led me on. Chris didn't. You see what I'm saying? Like that victim. Like it's just instead of just saying, I was hoping that if I did all of this, some kind of way I can I can get Chris to do this. And you didn't want to be patient.
You go get it. You ain't go worry. You got to worry about me throwing no other woman in your face. Like I'm mess with this over here and I'm doing that thing over there. Nah, we good. We good.
But that's where communication come in there. That's when she should be able to speak up and open her mouth and say, hey, Chris, what are we doing? I'm really feeling you. I like you. You know, at some point, I want to maybe move to the next level, whatever that may be. If we going to be girlfriend, boyfriend, if we're going to move in together, if we're going to whatever. This is what it is. Sometimes women need to speak up.
Well, ma'am, if that's what you want, I expect your effort to reflect that. You're not going to just get it from me.
Communication.
Well, what a night this was. And I must say that the Chambers Talk Show, y'all kind of, y'all be in and out 30 minutes. But y'all hung in there tonight with us. So yeah. I do appreciate y'all.
We enjoyed it. Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always. I like y'all too. I think I should have took y'all show on the road a long time ago.
We're getting around to it. We just have a lot going on. All
right, like thirst trap picks.
Yeah, you got to do the phone and shake it and then put musical effects. Mm-hmm. So listen, we're gonna give y'all closing comment, ladies first. Dr. Mann and April Givens, y'all a part of the show tonight. Closing comments. Do whatever you wish with it.
I just like to say, ladies, my biggest takeaway from this is just be careful out here. You guys, you guys didn't agree with us about the representative, but they do come. I've seen it numerous times, so we got to be careful out here in this world. If you're not married and you're on the dating scene, beware. Those are my closing comments. Beware.
Well, my closing comment is, I guess, for the ladies and for the gentlemen too. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Who are you? Anytime, life gets you down or whatever, or you have a disappointment in relationship and work or friendship, who are you? Remember who you are.
My affirmation is, what y'all doing for the Beyonce tickets out there? Hey, yeah.
I've seen her at a concert. I'm good.
I'm still trying to decide. I don't know if I'm going.
I'm not a fan. Hey, Chris Leo.
Well, speaking for all single, especially black men out here, we're tired of this shit. We're tired of this narrative that we're gonna endanger you women. I was just talking to a woman on the phone and she talking about she got to meet me in person because I could be crazy. Ma'am, you might be a wonderful, wonderful woman, but you ain't worth me spending 9 days in jail away from my child to do something to you. And you come into my spot where you can call your brother and tell, oh, I'm coming here, and if I don't text you back in such and such time, call the police. It's all in your hands. Like I said before, random people we ain't out here doing all this crazy stuff like that, man. And it's getting tiresome every time you talk to women. They act like they treating you like rapists or you a murderer or something, man. We 40-some years old. Ain't got no time. I ain't spending no time in jail for you, but I appreciate y'all, ladies. Either way, Valentine's Day is on the way, and I look forward to hollering at you February 15th when your man let you down, and I'll be right there as the cleat up man. Love you, ladies. Love you.
Woo! Super Mario Senior.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. It's always good to have intellectual talk with women, especially the ones who be accountable, even though Dr. Mann said just, be careful. After talking to us, that she got from being on the Black Super Friends is be careful out here.
Come on, man.
Gotta be careful. You got the videos out there.
Hey, after listening to these niggas for an hour, be careful, ladies. So we appreciate y'all coming, man. I always say that we can talk for hours and hours, as you see that we be trying to get the hell out the app with y'all on. We get lost with time. So we thank everybody who tuned in. I'm pretty sure this will be one of our highly rated shows. Appreciate Chris for letting me put him on display, man, and not being offended. Horace for doing a good job. And for Zay, man, I know he's a man of mystery, so we don't know where he's at right now. Some kind of teleporter. I know he had just bought a spaceship, and sometimes jump from galaxy to galaxy, you get a little lost. Shout out to listen, super friend too. So thank y'all for coming.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Hey, most definitely. We want to thank y'all for another show. We always get great ratings when we bring in the ladies from the Chambers Talk Show. And anybody that's out there, we're looking for an endorsement deal. Internet, we got a nice package. We will listen. Maybe
I'm married, Horace.
endorsement deal for internet. All right.
Right.
Listen, please. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm pretty sure these clips will be never ending this week.